Yeah. So the logic is we're going to go through submissions, and ones that will leave us with dominant positions if they go wrong. And arm bars and arm triangles did not go well for us last week, so we're going to try and ruin leg locks today, or keep stuff. So the general rule for joint submissions is you want to control above and below the one you want. I'm going to refer to terms as, so first off, identify what you're going to destroy. I mean, really identify what you're going to destroy. So if you're going to ruin someone's knee, for example, what are you actually destroying in the knee? So we don't really break anything in jiu-jitsu. Like, we don't break people's arms in arm bars, not properly. We hyperextend and destroy the ligaments. I mean, then breaks may happen, but they're not the intention. We hyperextend and that's what causes the damage. And it's the same with a lot of other joint submissions. If you're not breaking the bone, you're destroying the ligaments around it. And so, yeah, good. First off, identify what it is you're actually accomplishing. What are you ripping? What are you tearing? What are you ruining? So the knee, like we're doing outside heel hooks, it's the outer ligament here. If we're doing inside heel hooks, it'll be this ligament here. If we're doing ankle locks, it's usually that ligament here that I try and go for. So, such as like rolling your ankle like that. That's what we want to do to the ankle. Once you've identified which one you want, you identify the one above and below. The one closest to my core. So, yeah, he's lying on the floor in a, I said, Vitruvian man the other day. Yeah. I know, nice, right? I know. So if I want to rack his ankles, I identify right. So that's what I'm going to destroy, that ligament there. So the ligament above, closest to his core, is the control ligament, control joint, should I say. The one furthest away is my submission joint. This is the more important joint, because if I don't have this, I have nothing. So it's like arm bars. So if he's here, being a Vitruvian man, I want to hyperextend his elbow, which means the joint closest to his core is his shoulder, the one furthest away is his wrist, and that's the submission joint. If I have his shoulder, I'm always eventually going to get to his wrist. I'm always going to end up destroying his elbow eventually. But if I don't have his shoulder and he gets his shoulder out, all I have is a wrist, and it means fuck all to me. So I need to put more effort into what I do here, because you can have his wrist, you can hold on to his hand for all I fucking care. He's still stuck, he's still in the position, and eventually his grip will grow old and I'll get his arm. But if I don't have his shoulder, I have nothing. Like, he can get out. So it's way more important to control that upper joint here. And so that's what we're going to be looking at. Is I don't want you to necessarily put the joint locks on for now. I want to make sure your control is good. And a good rule of thumb, especially when we're playing legs, and to improve our control, is to make sure that when we're doing joint submissions, give the other person 5 seconds to tap. As in, hold the position and do a countdown of 5. If you can't hold the position for 5 seconds, you never had it in the first place, you're panicking and you're going to rush it. But if you can maintain control of that upper joint, give them a full countdown, and you still get it, your control's good. So it means that you get time to work on your control. So if I'm going for like an ankle lock on Adam, I won't be able to. So first off, that's my control joint, because that's the one furthest to his core. I want to maintain control of his knee for at least 5 seconds. If I can control his knee for 5 seconds without putting the submission on, as he's trying to get out, yeah, I'm not maintaining it, so he's gone. Does that make sense? So I need to give him the time to get out, and it's only going to make my control better if I do that. Does that make sense? And so we'll start with legal shit. I say ankle locks, and then we'll go to illegal shit, like heel hooks. If he can get his ass off the floor and get his foot onto the ground, it's going to be very hard for me to finish it. So I need to, one of the things I want you to do then is you're going to try and maintain control of the knee, and control the leg. Whatever leg configuration you want. If you want to go traditional, if you want to go different combinations. That was really good the other day. There you go. There. Oh damn, that's tight. That is tight, isn't it? I can feel that. That bite there. Impressive. You okay?
Yeah, that's
You're
awful.
shaking like a shitting dog.
That's awful. Because I've got to come up, otherwise I'll
break your ankle.
If I probably well lie down.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I've got to raise my ass.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, that fell.
Anyway, so find the best configuration of your legs that means they can't move. Give them 5 seconds to escape and see if they can get out. If they get out, then your shit ain't real. Does that make sense? And then once you've identified, you can maintain control for 5 seconds. And so you're then looking at controlling the upper foot, the upper joint, to make the foot roll inwards and then break it. So make sure you have that in mind and you're not knocking yourself out. So I'm going to have to make sure I can get to that way better. So I'm not trying to push through his ankle. I'm holding onto the foot. I'm making his foot flare and then I get the submission. So find the best configuration that's going to hold, give you control. Don't just jump, like don't just go nuts and break your partner's shit. Like for Adam now, I want him to give me increased resistance for me to be able to figure out what the best way of holding it is. I want his feedback. If he says, no, it feels like I can get out like this, I need to fix it. So if I do my lock, I like this. And then, yeah, can you get out?
That's awful. No, that's awful. That's calf crush as well.
Yeah, I was going to say the lock is pretty, yeah. Can you get out?
Don't want to.
Don't want to. Like, is that deep? Yeah, that's pretty tight. Oh, I know I'm going to play with this. Yeah, so spend some time controlling the knee, controlling the leg, and then once they cannot move, put pressure into rotating the foot, and then get that feedback off them. But the most important part is controlling the upper leg. Control the upper leg. It was never real in the first place. Makes sense? So I'm going to give you some time, partner up. If you want to work as a 4-piece, so you can share ideas, work as a 4-piece. Yeah, make sense? Just ankle lock for now, and then we'll go to heel hooks afterwards.
Okay.
Off you go.
Where are you?
So to add to this then, like caveats and things you want to be looking out for. So things you need to be aware of is don't face the other leg. So if I've got the leg on the outside here, do not go looking at the other leg because that's going to be reaping material. That's where you're going to get DQ'd in regular competition. So always make sure you're facing away from the unaffected. Be aware that there's a hole between your heel and your knee if you're doing this kind of stuff here. If there's a gap, they can open it and just pop their leg out. So that's going to be a problem. If you go all in, and when you've just got the ankle, you can just stand up and start stacking me on my own head, which is a problem. So things that you're going to need to be aware of is A, there's no hole for them to get their leg out, but not enough that you've committed yourself that they're going to stack you on your own head. You're not facing the unaffected, so you're not going to get DQ'd for reaping. And you don't want, even if I've got like this, if he starts to stand up and come up on top, like, and come upright, like, yeah, I'm losing everything here as well. So I need something that's going to keep his hips on the floor, because if he gets upright, it's going to be much harder for me to hold on to his hips. So I need to adjust my grips, but he can't do that. So when you're doing this with your partner, make sure that they can't open, make sure that they can't stack you upright, make sure they can't stand, and make sure that you're not being dragged towards the unaffected, okay? So make sure that as the person on top, you test those things, like use those ideas to test whether your partner's grip is enough. Does that make sense? The one we've just been playing with, and you're more than welcome to use it, otherwise explore on your own, is using my outer leg to hook underneath the knee, and my inner leg to go over the top of the hip, because I feel it qualifies all the different things I just asked for. So I'm not facing the unaffected, I am controlling his knee, and if I stamp my foot into the floor, it puts a lot of pressure through his hip so he can't come upright. So this foot here, I'm going to hook my toes around my shin, because that locks into his knee, and then I stamp into the ground. Can you stand up? Can you rotate me to the other way? Not easily.
Not easily.
Can you get upright? There's a lot of pressure through your hip there. Did you feel your knee is isolated? Can you pop your leg out? No. Yeah, it's pretty crossed up in there. That foot's in the way. Yeah, I'd say this is doing all the things I need it to do. His leg is now trapped. If I now give him 5 seconds to try and escape, if I'm going to get my grips, oh, okay. I won't even hold your ankle. Okay. Okay. Now? No? Okay. grip's pretty tight. Make sense? So explore, find the best way of maintaining that grip that they can't get up or do anything. Okay, and you're not breaking any of those rules that I've asked where you're not facing unaffected, they can't stand up, they can't free their leg out of the hole, whatever. That seems to be the best version that I can find, and he can't get his way out of it. You may have better ones, and you're more than welcome to show the class afterwards. Yeah, off you go. So with the grips, as you can see there, like the benefit of doing that style of training of trying to put the correct resistance in, try and break what your partner's doing, and so it gives you, you knew then to get out of the grips you had to free your knee. Like you didn't give a shit about your ankle. If you free your knee, you were out. And so that's why we do that kind of style of resistance training, is because it then makes you smart for escaping locks just by accident. You know what to escape. You know when it falls apart. Hopefully, like I say, it's good. It's not something you're going to get in a day. Like this is something you need to play with consistently, and you're always going to improve your grip. Like, you know, how I do ankle locks now isn't what I've done for the past 15 years. It's changed relentlessly, but it always gets tighter. I always figure out something new, and it just gets tighter. Not to say the ones I did do were wrong. They're just better now. So what I want to do is to go into positions where you can go hunt for the grip that you have. See if it's a grip you can find. The way to play with this then is when we're in a forward-facing situation. I won't do it to you because it's fucking. We established it's wrong on many levels. Any time that your partner has their legs outside of you, I can leg lock them. So if their legs are on the inside, I can't leg lock them. I need their ankles on the outside. And that doesn't matter if they are on top or on bottom. So as in, if Adam's legs are on the inside down here, that means he can go for looking for leg locks on me. Whoever's the inside, whoever's in between the other person's legs, is the person who can go looking for leg locks. So right now, if he elevated my leg up, he could go looking for a leg lock on me. Does that make sense? But if his legs were on the outside, he wouldn't be able to find my ankle. But I could go leg locking him. Does that make sense? So try from the top and the bottom. Can you find the grip that you just played with? And if you can't, you have to now go establish, right, how are you going to get to that point? So because there's a lot of variables in this, there's a lot of transition movement, make sure you're not giving a lot of resistance to your partner. Start very low, so allow them to find their way into that grip, and then up the resistance and see if it falls apart. Does that make sense? Like if Adam was to go looking for an ankle lock on me from down here, for example, and bring my leg up, is he going to be able to put me on my ass? If you can't put me on my ass, if there's no sweeping mechanic to this, there's no way he's going to get a leg lock on me. You can't find his ankle lock. But if you can find a way of putting me down at the same time, then yeah, now there's a chance for him to start looking for the ankle lock. Does that make sense? So make sure that you have a sweeping mechanic if you're on the bottom, and find your way into the lock that you just generated. And once you find your way there, again, give your partner time to see if they can escape, 5 seconds. If they can't, your lock is good. Make sense? So don't rush the submission. You only rush submissions if you panic that your control is shit. If you knew they couldn't get out, would you rush the submission? No, which makes it safe for everyone. Now, if I knew, I won't use your leg, I'm sorry. Don't scream. Turns me on. If I could drop into this situation and I knew he couldn't get out, then would I have to rush my ankle up? Like, can you get out? 5 seconds? No? Cool. I can now start looking for my ankle lock. If he got out within 5 seconds, then this control needs to improve. I have to make sure my bite is strong. I need to give him a chance to escape. If I just got here and was like, break, then I come across someone who's got really good escapes, and my shit might not work. Does that make sense? So make sure that you spend longer on this part than you do on this part. This part isn't as important just yet. This is really important. So find your way from those inside positions, in between their legs, I don't care where from, to get to the grips that you just established. Make sense? Cool. Last drill. Here you go.